Hello and welcome back to the Scorching Start on the Birds Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Sammy Miller, alongside your broadcasters, Ian Nicholas and Dylan Pescatore. And the Firebirds are back in action today at White House Field, the home of the Harwich Mariners, after yesterday's off day. Guys, how was the off day? Dylan, how about you?
Off day was good. Visited the Saltwater Taffy Company in Yarmouth. Got 31 different flavors. Not good for my stomach, but they taste really good.
What was your favorite flavor so far?
Banana, 100%.
I love the answer. Okay, Ian, how was your day?
I got the peanut butter taffy, so thanks to Dylan for that one. But beach in the morning, beach in the afternoon, tired at night. It was a great day. It was a Cape Cod experience, but happy to be back on the diamond today.
It's perfect. That's how you do it. You cannot come to Cape Cod without some taffy. But let's talk about the Firebirds' last outing. It was a huge win over the Brewster Whitecaps, and a big reason for that was their pitching. Dylan, what'd you see from those arms on the bump?
Yeah, there were 6 or 7 different arms that came out of the bullpen, and it was a bullpen day. Grayson Carter went 2 innings to start, but the 2 arms that really stood out to me were Evan Truitt. He went 2 2/3 in the middle innings, and then Jonathan Gonzalez, who got big outs in the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th for the Firebirds. 2 guys, one from the right side in Truitt, one from the left side in Gonzalez, who were really steady and got the game along in the favor of Orleans.
And one of the biggest points of emphasis for this team the last few weeks has been playing team baseball. And they really did that against the Whitecaps. They had 7 RBIs. Ian, how important is that to keep that message forward?
Well, it's just realizing that it might not be your time, but eventually your time will come in this order, because if pitchers are going to throw the ball like they did Brewster did on Tuesday, not finding the zone, letting guys get on base, eventually one of the guys in the order is going to pounce. I mean, we saw Fenwick Trimble had 3 RBIs, had one of his most productive games of the year. He didn't have a hit. So it's just let the game come to you, and ultimately your time will come to shine. I mean, Eddie King, somebody who didn't have an RBI through his first 15, 20 games of the season, now has 3 over his last 4 games. It is a matter of time until players start to develop, until their time comes, and the offense showed really its entire depth on Tuesday.
And on top of that 8-4 win, it was even sweeter because Johnny Olmstead and Riley Fry were selected in the MLB draft in the 19th round. But unfortunately, they're no longer with the Firebirds because they are going and taking that draft pick. So how much are you going to miss those 2 moving forward on this team?
Well, personally, I'm going to miss both of them because they're great guys, but talking about in the team sense in terms of baseball, 2 guys who really bring a big impact to this team. Johnny Olmstead was a 2-3-4 spot kind of guy in the order, a real veteran on this team as well, 4 years at USC and now going to play for the Marlins. And then Riley Fry was the left-handed go-to guy for Kelly Nicholson. Anytime he needed an out against a left-handed batter, he went to Fry. Now it's going to be a little bit of mix and match in terms of the bullpen with Fry not being there.
And these Mariners, they have really had the dominance over the Firebirds. They've won every single meeting 4 different times. So, Ian, what makes it so difficult for the Firebirds to get a win over this team?
Well, Harwich just wins in a multitude of ways. In the first 2 games, both at Eldridge Park, they were blowouts. I mean, Harwich had 22 combined runs in those 2 games. Over the last 2, it's been more pitching duels, and Orleans ran into Josh Bostic last time around. I know you were just talking about draft picks. Bostic was a pick of the San Francisco Giants, and for good reason. He went 6 shutout and had 7 strikeouts. So Orleans just ran into a brick wall there. Harwich has changed a lot from the start of the season when they were beating Orleans to now when they're still beating Orleans. The one thing that hasn't changed is Steve Englert leads this team. He's one of the best managers on the Cape. He's a fiery, emotional leader, and whatever group he has is going to play at 100% effort because he's at the helm.
And in this East Division, Harwich is number 2 and Orleans is number 3. So this is a big game for them today. Also, for a little bit for pride. You want to get a win over a team who's beaten you the last 4 times. How big could this win mean for the Firebirds?
Well, Harwich has played 3 more games than the Firebirds and lead by 4 points. A win is 2 points. So if you get a win today, 4-point swing, get right back into that second place, which gets home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. It would be monumental for the Firebirds to not only break the 4-game losing streak against the Mariners, but also just get one for the standings today.
We'll see if the Firebirds are able to do it. And stay tuned for a lot more content on the Scorching Start. Hold on. You thought you were finished with this pregame show. Not so far. We have to get the keys to the game, guys. Ian, you're up first.
Ivan Romero, the last start he had in the Cape Cod Baseball League, he beat Orleans. He was the starter for YD last year in Game 2 of the first round. Now he's starting for the Birds, and he needs to dominate. 4 to 5 innings, 2 earned runs or less. Romero needs to be on top of his game.
Dylan, how about you? What's your key?
Situational hitting, a lot of sack flies, pass the baton type of game against Brewster last time out. Keep it going today to get runs on the board against Harwich.
We'll see if the Firebirds are able to get those keys done.
All right, let's go to war, boys. You guys can get out.
I'm now joined alongside Firebirds manager Kelly Nicholson. Now, Coach, before we get into today's game, we have to talk about Johnny Olmstead and Riley Fry. They got drafted. How special was that? Really embracing with the team, everyone in Brewster.
It was really cool, Sammy. I told Donna when I got home that night, I said, I've been here 22 summers, right, physically. Those were two of the coolest moments I've ever seen. You know, that's what it's all about. Those kids have been friends for a month, and you would have thought they were lifelong friends. And to see our team like genuinely full of joy for Riley and for Derek was really special. It was cool. As cool a moment as I've had in Orleans.
It was really special. And Johnny's dad was there, so it was the cherry on top. Another cherry on top was you guys got the win, and a big reason for that was your pitching. What do you think from the bullpen and your starter as well?
Yeah, I thought everybody pitched. Really well. Grayson Carter as our opener, and True did a good job, and Connor came in and did a nice job, and then Gonzo did a good job, and Clarkie came in and got an out for us, and Matty closed it. So I think I reeled off 6 guys there. So it was, and then offensively, it was a very good offensive performance, I thought. I thought it was as good a team win as we've had all summer.
And like you just said, team baseball. You guys had 7 RBIs, and I know that's something you've been really preaching to the team. So how awesome was it to really see that to fruition?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I mean, it's what they're capable of, and they put it all together against Brewster. And when we do those things, as I've said, yeah, we had a couple errors and got a little loose on the bases a couple times. But when you put up 8 runs and run those guys out to the mound, you got a pretty good chance to win.
And Harwich has kind of had your guys' number all season long.
Not kind of. 0-4, they've had it, so we need to turn it around tonight.
What do you think those big factors are turning around against this team?
They've just played better. They've just played better for whatever reason. Historically, games have been really good. They've smashed us, right, those first 2 games, whatever the scores were. I try not to remember. Then we had a pretty close one, and then I think it was 5-0 the other night. So we got our bullpen's good tonight. They're throwing a lefty that's good. Actually ran into this kid's grandfather in the market the other day. I just met him and told him that. So I'm looking forward to watching him pitch. So it should be a good game tonight, Sammy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Coach. Good luck tonight.
You bet. Thank you.
Hey, set the tone, boys.
Hello and welcome into another edition of Teammate Talk. Now, I don't have Firebirds players, but I do have some teammates in the broadcasting booth. It's Dylan Pescatore and Ian Nicholas. Now, guys, they have known each other since freshman year of high school, and they have to go through 9 innings of baseball every single day. So I sure hope you guys know each other. Pressure is on. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. I know a lot about Ian, and hopefully he knows a lot about me.
Ian, how about you?
It's a shame that we know so much about each other, but we're back again together this summer, and this is what we've been looking forward to all summer long.
Let's go. Okay, the first question is, Dylan, if Ian was an article of clothing, which would he be?
I'd say a sock. I think Ian is he's going to be used on a current basis over and over again. Very reliable. I go sock for Ian.
What color?
White.
Perfect. Okay, Ian, what about Dylan?
Hope I'm a clean sock, first of all. Second of all, I would go with a Yankee bomber jacket. And I have so much respect for Dylan because he wears his Yankees jacket here on Cape Cod, and I'm surprised that somebody hasn't taken him out because it's Red Sox country here. But that is how much that team means to him.
And it's been so rainy. I've been seeing a lot of that jacket, but good job. Those were 2 good answers. Okay, second question is, if Ian wasn't a broadcaster, what career would he be in?
Ian would be working on Wall Street as a stock market broker. Back in the business, making a lot of money, big numbers, a lot of bottom lines that end in 9 zeros or something like that. He would be in a big house, too.
I love it. What a compliment. Okay, Ian, what about Dylan?
I'd say a food critic. Dylan is I don't know if it's picky eater is the right word, but he's very particular about what he eats, whether it's saltwater taffy or something else. Dylan is hypercritical, and he is very brutally honest. And he will not withhold the truth. And he will go against the grain. If you really like something, he does not need to like it. So I think Dylan, who's a very critical person, would be an unbelievable food critic.
With a lot of ketchup and definitely using a fork. Great job. Okay, question number 3 is, if Ian was trying to get hype for a broadcast, what song would he be playing?
So I've gone through a few because Ian goes through decades of music, but I go with his alarm. Why do I know this? Because it plays so long. EXO Tour Life by Lil Uzi Vert. That's his hype song.
I love it. Ian, what about Dylan?
That's not true. First of all, I only use that song for my alarm because it's so disturbing in front of the song. It's so off-putting, it wakes me up and I have to shut it off. I would go with The Woo by Pop Smoke. Dylan is a massive, to the late great Pop Smoke fan. Any song really would work, but I think The Woo really speaks to what Dylan's trying to get to before a game.
Firebirds fans, I've heard both of those songs too many times, so those are definitely a good answer. And the final question is, if Ian could only eat one food for the rest of his life, what would it be?
Now, Ian has changed his diet over the years, but if we're talking currently, I go with a buff chick salad. It's a go-to for him. At least 2-3 times a week he's going with the buff chick, and it's a classic for Ian.
He's a big buff chick guy. Okay, what about Dylan?
First of all, it's buffalo chicken. If you don't know what buff chicken is, a word that I've taught them, and it works. And I'm going to go with another abbreviated food, chicken parm. Good old chicken parmesan. Dylan will eat this every day. Recently, it's been the fish and chips because Dylan apparently never had fish and chips before coming to Cape Cod somehow, even though we've lived in the Northeast our entire life. He's always, though, going to be a chicken parm enthusiast. He's very particular. Like I said, going back from the previous answer, he knows what a good parm should be.
And guys, once again, I can say both those answers are 100% correct. We go out to dinner a lot, and those guys are getting those items. But I would say you guys did a very good job. I can tell you guys have been besties for a while, but stay tuned for a lot more teammates on the Teammate Talk.